This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Katz and Cosby, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, let's bring in Senator Joe Manchin. Well, Senator Manchin, I mean, it bothers me when we're on that they're not participating in the 4th of July, 250 years. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, first of all, John, it's good to be with you all. I'm always excited when we're together and we're speaking about common sense because that's how people live their lives. It's not how Washington works. It's not how Washington works, but it's how we all have to live our lives all over America. But this is ridiculous, John. You can't pick and choose what you like and what you don't like. And when you don't like something, you don't participate. You know, we're a very diverse country. We got a lot of different groups, socially, religiously, and so many different factors that's what makes our country so great.
It's not about President Trump celebrating 250 years. It's about the country celebrating 250 years. Yeah. I mean, it's a special time, and I just don't understand.
I'm definitely going to be there. I'm definitely going to be there because I'm not really sure I'm going to be around for the next 250. So I'm going to take advantage of this one to be in Washington and celebrate.
Senator, you know what I'm afraid of? That if Harris would have gotten elected, I would have been worried about our kids and grandkids for our country reaching 300 years.
Yeah. John, that's the thing. We have to have enough faith in the system. Let me just tell you. Give you your New York elections you just had, the primaries, where the Democratic Socialist of America, the people who basically say it's a new Democratic Party, John, they only the high water mark was the gentleman Lyndon who won with 18%. The other two was 17 and 15. No one's showing up to vote anymore, and you know why? Both parties have chosen quite a while ago that they would control the primaries. If you control the primaries, John, you can control who gets elected, and then you spoon feed that to the general election. The people are sick and tired of not being able to be able to choose the representatives they want. And we're saying, open up the primaries. Democrat primaries must be open and Republican because the MAGA and the DSA now have gone to the extreme. So they used the playbook that the Democrats and Republicans, the duopoly party, they wanted to basically control and make sure that they could control the primary. And if you look over the last 20 or 30 years, John, primary participation has dwindled to almost nothing everywhere. And then on top of that, John, they don't have to get elected with a majority, just a plurality. So if there's 2 or 3 people, a person get elected with 40%. You should never have an election to where someone cannot say when they win with 50% plus one, that I represent the majority of the people in my district or in my city or in my county or my state. We have to change the process. If not, John, we're lost because this control will continue.
I was a Bill Clinton Democrat in those days, and I helped run some of President Clinton's campaigns. And,
sure.
And Judge Weinberg, that's in the studio, has been a Democrat for 78 years, and 77 maybe. I mean,
every day I get older.
You get older, and last week Carville says, Alan Dershowitz says he withdrew from the Democratic Party. Carville last week says that.
Well, I did it quite a while ago, but John, I couldn't relate to it, and I have a lot of Republican friends who are not relating to the MAGA going so far right. So
is there anybody in the Democratic Party that's trying to put together a coalition to make the Democratic Party the old Democratic Party?
Well, I didn't see it, John. I'll be honest with you. Leadership has allowed this to happen because they wanted control. Well, guess what? It backfired on them. The only people that are actively getting involved are the activists, the extremes, because they can get out a small minority of voting, and win. They've shown that in New York, and now they want to say, well, that's the new Democratic Party.
And President
going
Trump
downhill
has his
for quite
own
some time.
problems with a few
Sure.
Republican senators that don't agree with him.
Right. That's fine. You can, John, you can disagree and do it in a respectful way and try to get to a common place. That's the main thing. If I would say to President Trump, I'm sorry, sir, I can't go home and explain that, but let me tell you what I think would work. That's how you have discussions. You just can't say, oh, hell no, I'm not for that. Don't ever come talk. People are just basically shutting everything down. This whole thing was based on our founding fathers knew that we have to have compromise. If you're going to say this is an experiment 250 years ago, and we're going to decide, okay, let's see, it's never been done anywhere in the world, but we believe that we can have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people that basically can govern ourselves. That means in our districts, whenever you have a district, that districts were designed, I think, by Thomas Jefferson, who said districts should be aligned with the people that basically have commonality. So it could be agriculture, it could be manufacturing, and someone would be living in that area that would be elected to represent them. John, this redistricting, this gerrymandering and redistricting, it's not about the people. It's about the parties. They're drawing lines all over to get more Democrats or more Republicans and have total control. And that's what has to stop. If you had an open primary, John, where all of us were on the ballot in a primary, Republicans, Democrats, independents, and then you have libertarians or whatever you want, and you pick the top four. Those top four would go to the general election. And then it'd be ranked choice. You rank 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what happens, you have to win by at least 50 plus 1. That's pure representative form of democracy.
Well, see, the other problem is you take a state like Massachusetts, and I was really, my stomach was turning. You have 2 Democratic senators and all Democratic congresspeople, and the state of Massachusetts is 39% Republicans. How are the 39% Republicans being represented in Washington?
How are the independents, John? Let me tell you this. No differently. You're absolutely correct. Because you know why? The Democrats have probably got a closed system up in Massachusetts.
Yes.
You have to be a registered Democrat to participate. And people probably are saying, moderate people, might have been moderate Republicans, says, maybe we should just register Democrat because we can't participate. It's not competitive on the Republican side. That's the way West Virginia used to be, and now it's all Republican. Only thing I'm saying, that's so wrong, John. We've got to change it. Open the primaries up. Do not close them. Do not have a closed Democrat or Republican primary. I think basically I'm an independent right now, no party affiliation. I'm disenfranchised, John. The 1965 voting rights gave the African Americans the right to vote in America. They were citizens, and they had the right to vote. I'm a citizen. I'm a registered independent, but the parties are dictating how I can participate in this democracy. I think that's a clear violation of the law.
Well, Senator Joe Manchin retired from the great state of West Virginia, but Senator, please stay involved in politics because we need some common sense in Washington.
Well, John, I am. My daughter and I started what we call AmericansTogether.org. Just get on there, John, and wherever you live, it'll tell you what kind of government you have. And if you're unsatisfied, it'll give you some directions of how you could change it. People need to reinvigorate. Take back the government. Don't allow the political parties to dictate and control.
And tell us that website again.
It's AmericansTogether.org.
AmericansTogether.org. I will go to it after the show tonight.
And here's what I tell them, John. We're not trying to make a third party. If we do, I would say we're going to be the new AI. You heard about AI, artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
We're going to be the American independents. We're going to push this country back to the middle, back to where we used to make things happen. Because I'll tell you, the center left and center right, the extremes are not going to do anything.
Extremism in any direction is no good.
Doesn't work, John.
Senator, I'm looking
want
to
the grand old party to be grand again.
Thank you.
They want it to be grand again, and they want the Democrats to be responsible again. We got to make that happen, John.
Senator, let's catch up again real soon, and we love talking to you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Please, my friend. Thank you for having me.